Most men don't struggle with authenticity because they're inherently dishonest. They struggle with authenticity because they've never truly met their real selves. From school to social media to relationships to masculinity, we've been trained to wear all of these different masks to be impressive, to be validated, to be accepted. And the tragedy is this: most men spend their entire lives being everything except from their real, authentic selves. So, today I want to talk about why authenticity is so hard for young men and how to finally start living from the center of ourselves, beyond all of the external masks and facades. Authenticity sounds simple. Just be yourself, right? But what to do when we have no idea who or what our self truly is? Most young men today have grown up inside a pressure chamber, an echo chamber, saying things like, be confident when they're feeling anxious, be stoic when they're breaking inside, be impressive when they're lost and feel like they're underperforming, be masculine when they don't actually know what that is and what that means, and be unaffected when they're hurting and feeling trauma and pain. And so it's natural that we all do what every young man does. We build a character, we build a facade, we build a shell, we build an interface between who we actually are and what the outside world sees and experiences. And I know this because for years my identity was performative. Even though I was trying my very best to show up and be myself and to let people see who I was. But nonetheless, I was playing the private school persona, the disciplined one, the spiritual one, the helpful one, the monk-like one, and the healer one. And underneath all of these masks was the same truth that all men carry. I don't know who I am without all of this. And even if I do, I feel too scared and vulnerable and not secure enough to show that to others, show who I know deep down I truly am. So, authenticity is difficult, not because we're fake, but because we're never really shown how to be real. So, it takes a little bit of time and effort to start to move in that direction, towards realness, and towards honoring who we truly are. When a man lives out of alignment, his whole mind and body begin to revolt. And it shows up because the body never lies and the body always keeps the score. Anxiety for no reason. Depression that doesn't match up with life's circumstances. Addictions that cannot be explained. Emotional numbness. Shame about who we really are or who we fear that we really are. And breakdowns that seem to come from nowhere. For me, the mask eventually cracked into panic attacks, psychosis, prison, and spiritual crises. And underneath all of that was a simple truth. I had abandoned myself for so long. and I didn't know how to recognize my own voice anymore. And that's the case for most men watching this, because we're not dysfunctional, even if we're showing and exhibiting all the dysfunctions, even if the cracks are appearing and everything is breaking down and everything is starting to show its real, true, ugly, beautiful self. We're just disconnected, and it's about how we reconcile. It's about how we hold and support these spectrums of who we are, who we've become, and how we move forward with acceptance, with validation from the inside. Young men today face 3 challenges which make authenticity nearly impossible. Number 1 is comparison culture. It's where we don't form our own true identity. We borrow one. We outsource one. We look at this person and think, wow, they're cool, they're popular, they're handsome, they're good looking, they have a good job, they have a good career. Let me be like them. If I'm just like them, maybe I will have some of the success, some of the positive characteristics I see in them. And the problem with this is that none of those things are actually us. They're just masks that we're using to hide the confusion, hide the discomfort that we truly feel in the depths of ourselves. Number 2 is external validation addiction. We learn to perform instead of express. Our worth gets tied to our aesthetics, our success, our physique, our relationship status, and authenticity just dies when this happens. Because I have become something which I'm currently not, so that you will like me, instead of being exactly who I am, even if you don't like me. And as soon as I start playing that game, sure, short term it's great, short term it works, but medium, long term, I start to see and feel how far I've come from myself. Depression comes, anxiety comes, panic comes, trauma comes, because now I'm not even connected to who I am. I'm just playing this game, playing this character, so that I fit in. And that never works for real, true, authentic connection. Number 3 is emotional literacy. If I can't feel myself, if I can't express myself, then I can't really be myself. I can't really honor myself. I can't really own myself. And most men, they know 3 emotional states. I'm fine, I'm angry, or I'm numb. Everything deeper gets suppressed, shamed, or turned into some way or some form of coping mechanism. And without emotional literacy, authenticity is impossible. If I really know what's going on inside of me, if I can accept, learn to name those things, and share those things, then I can share and connect. And of course, in the short term, it might not resonate with people. People might not have the capacity, the ability to hold that, to be there with me, to support me through those processes, through those things that I'm naming. But every time I'm self-aware, I look inward, I find those things, I take a step closer to the relationship with myself, which is fundamental and most important. And from that place, even if in the short term people don't resonate, they don't connect, I'm better situated to actually form real, deep and true connection with others. The kind of thing which is actually going to sustain. The kind of thing which is exactly as I am. The kind of thing which is authentic and pure and real and vulnerable and true. So authenticity is not a personality. It's a practice and it's a diet, just like purpose we spoke about in a previous video. And it begins with some steps. Number one, to subtract the mask and not to add more identity. We don't add authenticity by creating more characters, more persons. We find it by looking at the ones which are stifling us, which are choking us, the ones which are in the way of us connecting and relating authentically. And a good question to ask is, what am I doing purely to be liked? And would I still be doing this thing if I didn't want to be liked by these people? And simply starting with just removing one thing at a time. One thing per month, one thing per week, one thing per day. And see how this practice, this diet, drastically starts to improve things. The next thing is to tell the uncomfortable truth. This doesn't need to be done online or to strangers or to family or to colleagues. This can be just done within oneself. Do it in your journal. Do it whilst you pray. Do it whilst you meditate. Do it whilst you watch this video. Do it in silence. Learn to tell yourself the truth. Learn to be aware of what is moving through your body. Learn to be aware of your reactions and responses to things. And don't hide from them. Don't overlook them. Own them. Acknowledge them. Lastly, choose alignment over approval. Every choice that we make should strengthen our relationship to our true self, instead of strengthening our mask and the characters which are in the way of our true self. Alignment feels grounding. It feels wholesome. It feels energetic and full in the body. Performance feels hollow, empty, draining. And our job is to start choosing the parts of ourselves, start expressing the parts of ourselves, start giving hugs and care and strength to the parts of ourselves that don't need applause, that don't need acknowledgement from others. If you're a young man watching this, if you feel confused, ashamed, or lost, you're not alone and you're not behind. Your real self is not gone, it's just buried beneath the layers, buried beneath the dirt, buried beneath all of the stuff which you've put in the way in order to relate and survive and get through life. And together, let's dig this real self out. Let's uncover who this real self truly is. Brick by brick, shovel by shovel, wipe by wipe, until it's shining, until it's open and uncovered. This channel exists for that process, not from theory, not from performance, but from lived, grounded, real experience. Completely building myself back up with honesty, sobriety, spirituality, discipline, and we don't need to become different people. We just need to return to the one which we abandoned. Return to that one which we turned away from. Return to that one which is there, waiting to be redeemed, waiting to be let loose. The one which we came to this world to express and share in and grow with. So, if this landed, please watch the next videos in this series. Why I refuse to fake my progress, and why replacing your drug of choice doesn't work. The truth about real healing, because authenticity isn't a brand, it's a backbone, it's a practice, it's a diet. So let's rebuild properly, and let's just show up as we are and see how we naturally progress, naturally evolve when we come exactly as we are. See you soon.